Hello everyone. Today we are starting a new lesson, that is reproduction in animals. Students, in this lesson you have to know about definition for reproduction, types of reproduction, sexual reproduction, and also you have to know about asexual reproduction. And also you have to know about structure of male reproductive organ and also female reproductive organ, and also some other informations also there. So before knowing about detailed explanation about reproduction in animals, you have to know definition for reproduction. So reproduction is nothing but, so that is the process of the production of new organisms from existing organisms. Reproduction is nothing but, so reproduction is the process of production of new organisms from the existing organisms of the same species. That is what we called as reproduction. So reproduction is nothing but, the reproduction is one of the very important life process takes place in all organisms. So reproduction is nothing but that is the process of giving birth to the particular young one of the same species. That is what we called as reproduction. So why reproduction takes place in the particular animals like that? So usually reproduction that is very important for increasing population of the particular organisms like that. So the process of reproduction ensure continuity of life on the earth. Similarly, so reproduction is very much essential for survival of species on this earth, and also reproduction gives rise to more organisms with the same basic characteristics as their parents actually. So this is a simple definition for reproduction. So students, already told you reproduction is a process by which new individuals of the same species are produced. Reproduction is important for the continuation of similar kinds of individuals for the generations like that. So next coming to modes of reproduction. So modes or types of reproduction. So students, usually there are two types of reproductions are they. They are asexual type of reproduction and sexual type of reproduction. So first you have to know differences between sexual and asexual type of reproduction like that. So first very important type of reproduction, that is asexual reproduction. What is asexual reproduction like that? So asexual reproduction is the one of the very important type of reproduction in which new individuals are produced from a single parent. So only one parent is involving in the reproduction. That type of reproduction, that is what we called as asexual reproduction like that. So asexual reproduction is nothing but that is a process of production of new organisms from a single parent without the involvement of sex cells or gametes. That is what we called as asexual reproduction. There is no fusion of male and female gametes takes place here. Next coming to second very important type of reproduction, that is what we called as sexual reproduction. So what is sexual reproduction like that? So sexual reproduction is the one of the very important type of reproduction in which the production of new organisms from two parents, and also by making use of sex cells. Usually student sex cells are also called as gametes. Male gamete is there, female gamete also there. And also in sexual reproduction, fusion of male and female gametes takes place, and also that form a diploid zygote like that. In case of asexual reproduction, only a single parent involving in the reproduction. In case of sexual reproduction, two parents, both male and females, are both male and female organisms take part in the reproduction like that. And also by making use of sex cells are also called as gametes like that. So that is what we called as sexual reproduction. Similarly, so in case of sexual reproduction, two parents are needed to produce new individuals. In sexual reproduction, a male gamete fuses with a female gamete to form a diploid zygote, which later develops into a new individual. So, in case of sexual reproduction, both male and female gametes, fusion of male and female gametes takes place, and also that form a diploid zygote later, so that zygote is develops into a new individual. In this way, population of the particular organisms increases. But in case of asexual reproduction, how that particular organisms increase their population like that. So many types of asexual reproductions are there. They are the budding is there, regeneration is there, spore formation is there, that fission is there. In that binary fission is there, multiple fission is there, and also many other types of asexual reproductions are there. In all types of asexual reproduction, only one parent take part in the particular reproduction like that. So this is about modes of reproduction or types of reproduction, particularly about asexual reproduction and also sexual reproduction. Students, next coming to that sexual reproduction. Already told you both male and female gametes involving in the reproduction, and also fusion of gametes takes place like that. That is what we called as sexual reproduction. Students, in sexual reproduction, you have to know structure of both male reproductive organs and also female reproductive organs like that. So you have to know first about male reproductive organ in human. So usually you see the picture of that male reproductive organ. So this is what we call as male reproductive organ. This one also a male reproductive organ. You have to know that male reproductive organ or structure that contains many parts are there. So very important parts are there. First very important part, that is what we called as bladder. Urinary bladder is there. Some glands are there. Penis is there. Sperm duct is there. Urethra, testes, foreskin, and also scrotum also there. So you have to know one by one. First very important part of male reproductive organ. So that is what we called as testes. This part, that is what we called as testes. What is testes like that? So already told you in sexual reproduction, fusion of male and female gametes takes place like that. So male gamete, that is what we called as sperm. So this is the structure of the sperm. So female gamete also there, that is what we called as egg or ova. So both male and female gametes involving in the that fusion of male and female gametes takes place. Finally, that form diploid zygote. That type of reproduction, that is what we called as sexual reproduction like that. So usually in the male reproductive organ that contains a pair of testes. There are two testes are there, and also that particular test is situated in scrotum. So this is this part, that is what we called as scrotum. So in scrotum that contains very important part of male reproductive organ, that is what we called as testes. Usually the testis is a male gonad. So male gonad, that is what we call as testis, and also the testis that are involving in the releasing of male gamete, that is what we called as sperm. So usually that male gamete, that is sperm, releasing from the male gonad, that is what we called as testes. Similarly, already told you in male reproductive system that contains a pair of testes are situated in scrotum, and also which is present outside the abdominal cavity and behind that very important part of that male reproductive organ. So that is what we called as penis. So this part, that is what we called as penis. Behind this particular penis there is a presence of what? Testis like that. Similarly, usually the testes that produce what? That male gamete, that is sperm. And also the testes not only involving in the production of sperm and also the take part in production of male sex hormone. So that is what we called as testosterone. Testosterone is a male sex organ, sorry, male sex hormone, and also which is secreted from the male gonad, that is what we called as testes. Students, what's the main function of the testes? The testes that involving the releasing of that sperm and also that releasing of sex hormone, that is what we called as testosterone. Similarly, so what's the main function of that testosterone? Testosterone is a male sex hormone that releasing from the testis like that. Usually the testosterone hormone brings about changes in appearance of boys at the time of puberty. So after sexual maturity in males, that sexual maturity stage, that is what we called as puberty stage. In that stage, some changes takes place in the particular males or in boys. So that changes takes place in that boys in the time of at the time of puberty because of the very important sex hormone, that is what we called as testosterone. Similarly, so that male reproductive organ that contains sperm duct also. The male reproductive organ in human consists of a pair of testes, two sperm ducts, and a penis. So through that sperm ducts, the sperm will travel like that. The testis usually the produces the male gamete, that is what we called as sperm. And also the testis produces millions of sperm. Usually the testis that produces for millions of sperm. So this is the structure of that sperm. Usually that sperm present in the particular semen produced by the particular testis, and also that semen that contains millions of sperm. Usually a sperm is a single cell. A sperm is a single cell. You have to know the structure of that sperm. So usually that sperm is a tadpole like structure, and also that contains that head region is there, middle piece is there, and also last one, that is what we called as tail also there. Usually the sperm will move from one place to another place like that. So this is about very important structure. So that is male reproductive organs. Usually that male reproductive organ also contains some glands. Some glands are there. So usually that glands like prostate glands and also seminal vesicles add their secretions, which make transport of sperm easier, and fluid provides nutrition to the particular sperm like that. What is gland? Gland is a small organ and also that take part in production of hormones. In male reproductive system that contains two very important glands like prostate glands and also seminal vesicles glands. Both prostate and seminal vesicle glands that produce that very important hormones, and also that hormone that take part in easy transport of sperm, yeah, and also that fluid that provide nutrition to the particular sperm. So this is about male reproductive system or male reproductive organs. Next, coming to another very important structure, that is female reproductive organs. So in case of female reproductive organs, usually that contains many parts like ovaries are there. Usually that female reproductive system that contains a pair of ovary. So this is one ovary, this one is another ovary, and also that contains vagina. So this is what we, this part that is what we called as vagina. This one is cervix. This is uterus. This one is very important, fallopian tube is there, and also this is what we called as that another very important part. So that is endosperm like that. So this is about female reproductive organs. parts of female reproductive organs. So you have to know structure of that female reproductive organs. Already told you female reproductive system that contains a pair of ovary. So this is one ovary. This one is another ovary like that. So paired ovaries are located in the abdominal cavity near the particular kidney in females. Where actually ovaries present, a pair of ovaries are located in the abdominal cavity near the particular kidney. Similarly, ovaries produce usually female gamete, that is what we called as egg or ova. So this is the structure of egg or ova like that. Usually that egg or ova that produced by that, but is that a very important part of female reproductive system, that is what we called as ovary. Ovary that produce female gamete, that is egg. What about that male gamete, that sperm produced by testes. Similarly, so ovary not only involving in the production of female gamete, that is egg, and also that take part in secretion of female hormone, some female hormones like estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen and progesterone are the sex hormones, female sex hormones produced by the particular ovaries. One egg is produced every month alternatively by one of the ovaries. For example, so this month this ovary involving in the production of one egg. So next month, so this ovary that involving in the production of egg like that, that is female gamete. Usually, so that one egg is produced every month alternatively by one of the ovaries like that. Similarly, students, so this particular female reproductive system that contains another very important structure or that is part, that is what we called as fallopian tube. So this is what we called as fallopian tube. This one also fallopian tube. So usually egg is carried from the ovary to womb or uterus through a thin oviduct or fallopian tube. So this fallopian tube, that is also called as oviduct. So that egg or ova produced by the particular ovary, later that egg will move to the particular oviduct or fallopian tube. Similarly, another very important part of female reproductive system, that is what we called as uterus. This part, that is what we called as uterus. So two oviducts or fallopian tube. So this is one fallopian tube. This one is another fallopian tube. Two oviducts unites into an elastic bag-like structure. So that is what we called as uterus. So two fallopian tube. This is one fallopian tube. This one is another fallopian tube. Both the oviduct of fallopian tube unites together. Finally, that involving in the formation of elastic bag-like structure. So that is what we called as uterus. Usually, that uterus always waiting for fertilized egg. Similarly, last part of this particular female reproductive system, that is what we called as vagina. This structure, this part, that is what we called as vagina. Usually that uterus, that is elastic bag-like structure, that is uterus, opens into a vagina, and also it is a very important female copulatory organ like that. So this is about female reproductive organ or female reproductive system like that. Usually, the female reproductive organ consists of a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviducts. Oviducts also called as fallopian tube, already told you, and also that contains another very important part, that is what we called as uterus. Usually that ovary produces the female gamete, that is what we called as egg or ova. Alternatively, alternatively like that. Similarly, a single egg is produced by the ovary every month. A single egg is produced by the every month. The egg is a single cell, as like that of what sperm also a single cell. This egg also a single cell, and also that contains only 23 chromosomes. After the production of male and female gametes, next fertilization takes place. What is fertilization? I will tell you in next class. Students, today we got about definition for reproduction, types or modes of reproduction. In that, sexual reproduction. The in case of sexual reproduction, under the particular sexual reproduction, we got about the structure of male reproductive organ, and also now we got about structure of female reproductive organ. So this is about that today's topics. Next class you have to know few more informations about reproduction. Thank you so much. And also I will give you only one homework question for you. You have to draw a neat labeled diagram of structure of human sperm. So structure of human sperm, that is very very important. You have to draw the diagram of neat label diagram of structure of human sperm. Continue in the next class. Thank you so much.